tell you now just who they are. Listen to their stories and how they tell when they join and how they're doing so well. Telling us what it's all about today and how they are loving that own passive way. On passive, here today on passive, no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, so then you can be the very first to know. On passive, it's here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on passive.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is November 5th, 2021. I am so blessed to be here with you. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. My name is Julie. I'm coming to you from Orange County, California. My dear friend Milo. Milo, could you please say hello?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hello, Milo. I hope all is well with you, and I hope all is well with everyone who's watching the Julie and Milo show. We are so blessed. It's almost 2 years actually over 2 years for me and over almost 3 years for you that we get to sit here and we get to talk about Unpassive. But then we do have a great community, Milo, and you and I both are the most blessed people because we get to sit down and talk to founders every day. So today we not only have one special guest, but we have two special guests today. Without any further ado, Milo, could you please introduce our guest today?
Absolutely, Julie. We are so happy. We've been waiting for this for a while, but Own Passive's own power couple. Let me bring to the stage right now, Red and Jayne Redfern. Come on out, y'all. They don't need They don't need introduction.
Hello.
Everyone knows them. Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hello, Red. Hello, Jayne. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us. Many founders across the world know who Redfern and Jayne Redfern are, but a lot of founders who have just been in Unpassive few days, few weeks, do not know who you are. So in a brief moment, if each of you could please introduce yourself, tell us where you are, where you currently reside, and how long have you been together?
Go for you, Jayne, you first.
Most people know we live on a narrowboat at the moment. We came back from Spain, we sold a business, and for the now we're just living on a narrowboat. It's wonderful. We move around when we want to. We're moored up now obviously for winter because obviously it's not so easy, but for me and Red, we've been together 36 years, I think.
How old's Claire?
37.
Yeah, we've been Claire's 37, so we've been 35 years then.
35 years, and we've been, our 30th wedding anniversary is next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, a long time.
Congratulations. So we all know that you are a power couple in Unpassive. So tell us a little bit, how has your Unpassive journey been?
Well, I'll start this one. Obviously, I've been in Unpassive for a long time now. I joined in September of 2018, and I've basically been promoting and sharing this opportunity ever since then. Jayne's always been in the background as far as Unpassive is concerned. She didn't understand it at the beginning, like many people. It is actually quite hard for people to understand it. If you get it, you get it. And if people don't get it, then they don't understand it, kind of thing. So for about a good year, for 1 year, I was working, I suppose, in the background on my own. And then obviously Jayne started listening and getting more involved. And I suppose it's gone from there onwards, really. She's made a conscious effort that she wants to be involved with what's going on with Unpassive. And then obviously bit by bit, we see her on the screens. And then about a year and a half ago, or a bit longer than that, we started doing the fireside chat for the UK. And that's really when Jayne started coming into her own as far as people knowing who she was. And as you all well know, that she's really good at words and poetry. And she also has some very good things to say from a woman's perspective. you know, in On Passive. I'll pass it over to you now.
How did I get involved with Red? Well, I mean, we were working at the time, the campsite and stuff, so we were quite busy, and Red was filling in time when he had time to do On Passive, and I was listening as I was going backwards and forwards. And then I think when lockdown happened and we didn't have any customers, I sort of got more involved, and I started listening. You know, this is my analogy of it. It's like a big heart. Red's all the cogs on the inside, and I'm the marshmallow on the outside, and that's us.
You're a marshmallow.
I am, yes. I bring a little bit of empathy where he lacks it.
Yeah, I have been known to be quite blunt and to the point. But do you know something? I think that that's the way I am, and a lot of people like the way I am, straight to the point. I don't have many frills about me, and I tend to say it how it is. Jayne brings the softer side along for the show, and as a couple, you know, we do quite well as far as people is concerned. So long may it continue.
Oh, we love it. I tell you what, everyone in On Passive loves the couple that you guys are. And Jayne, I would like to say right here, man, for all the people in On Passive, thank you so much. You know, I know it's you know, you giving up Red a lot, because Red's on all the time. I hit him up, you know, 24 hours a day almost, and he'll answer me, you know. So I want to thank you for doing that. And Red, I'd also like to thank you for what you've done for the company. We really do appreciate it. But let me ask you this, Red. When this is just a little tough question maybe, but when do you think the first billionaire will be made in?
That's a really good question. Knowing one particular person who we all know who's got the largest team within On Passive, and you and I know who that person is, and Julie does as well. If the status quo of what we're expecting as far as earnings is concerned in On Passive, I would not be surprised that within 5 years.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. You know, did you want to say something, Jayne?
No.
She said, do we have to wait that long?
Have to wait that long?
Probably not, Red.
No, I'll be all right.
Remember,
No worries. We'll be
yeah,
fine.
and what Milo say, it's it's billion, not million.
It'd be with a billion, yeah. So that's a lot of millions in between the billion.
I'll accept the M. I'm okay. I'm not too fussy.
Okay, so Red, recently you have been saying a lot. I cannot sleep. I mean, at night, you know, I know, I can tell. Tell me, you know, why can't you sleep?
Well, my body is physically exhausted. I don't mind admitting that. Our bodies are both physically exhausted, and that's really what sends us to our bed, is sheer exhaustion. But this thing up here has a completely different idea to what this thing down here is thinking. And obviously when you've had a little bit of sleep, and I'm talking 2 or 3 hours, then your brain starts reactivating, and On Passive is always the thing that ends up getting me up. I've always got an ear on my phone, as Milo said. If my phone goes, I answer it. And so that I've got a subconscious ear to the phone. That doesn't help me sleep, because I'm always listening out. And my sleep patterns I have now is maybe 2/3 2-3 hour sleeps in a 24-hour period. And that is my sleep pattern at the moment. You know, I don't have 7, 8, 9 hours sleep straight through. I have 2 and 3 hours sleep, get up, do some work, do a meeting, go on a call, whatever, and stay up, and then go crash again, cycle goes on, and then we go on again. And so, you know, that's why I don't get sleep, is because, you know, we are all in a unique position as founders in On Passive. And once you have that light bulb moment of the possibilities of what is available with On Passive, and I'm not just talking about founders and business people who are looking at On Passive for their own usages. But there is so much more that's going to happen with On Passive down the road. You know, we're only just skimming the top of the iceberg at the moment with what we have got right now and what is going to be developed for us right now. Down the line, there is going to be what I believe is going to be bigger things than what we actually see right now. And once you start realizing the how huge the whole project is, this is what will give you sleepless nights. I can assure you of that. You will have no choice.
That happens to me. It's like, oh man, I think of something, you know, and I realize the possibility that's there with On Passive. And I mean, it's so big, even right now with what it is. But
Yeah, exactly.
We probably don't even know a tenth, you know, because when you start getting into wearables and you start getting into all these other things that I believe that we will be getting into, you know, it really blows it apart. But I do the same thing with rest. I get a couple hours sleep here, a couple hours sleep there. I'll take naps all day long. I get a 15-minute, 30-minute here. I'm up and ready to go because I'm thinking
power naps, mate. They're called power naps.
That's right. I'm thinking of something. So, but one of the big things is, you know, that keeps us up, I'm sure, same with you, is how we're going to be able to help everybody else. What is you guys' plan? Do you have any kind of plan as far as what you're going to do, that type of thing?
Yeah.
Jayne?
Well, Jayne's got one and I've got one really, and she's doing something. Go on,
well, we have a couple of ideas to help. Obviously, you help your own first, I guess. And one of my great wishes is to pay off my daughter's university fees because they're drowning her. You know, she's working all hours, and then thanks very much, someone takes however much at the end of the month just to pay for her university fees, and that could be forever. So that's one of the things I would really like to get rid of. Our daughter's a florist. I'd like to set her up. We'd like to be debt free. We don't have any debt, but we don't have a lot either.
We haven't got large aspirations as far as ourselves are concerned. So that's, you know, all the usual houses, cars, clothes, etc. We haven't got big ideas for that.
No.
Obviously, when the income starts coming in, we've also got projects that we want to really help. Obviously, I'm an ex-vet myself, you know, in the UK. So the largest percentage of people on the streets are ex-vets, and that's just not right. You know, so this is one of the areas I'll be certainly looking at down the road, is to help, obviously starting in the local community, to try and get as many people, especially ex-vets, off the streets with projects, and then see how we go, expand that out. Jayne's.
Yeah, I have a friend who's just had breast cancer, and she's had a complete mastectomy, and great care for her, but they've rebuilt her and it's a mess, and they've got to go private, and I know how much that's going to cost, and they know how much that's going to cost, and it's a massive thing. It's a massive confidence thing. She's 45, you know, and if I can just help her or get her on her way, or say, look, what can we do to help you get this and get your confidence back, then that's like definitely up there on the top of my list somewhere, you know.
There's certainly going to be a lot of people who are going to benefit from what we do with On Passive. You know, you and I, Milo, know, and Julie, we spend every single day with On Passive, and it is not for the benefit of ourselves, it's for the benefit of every single other person. And the reason that is because, you know, you get to a point in On Passive where our teams are growing naturally without us doing anything, and so we want to help as many other people to grow within On Passive as well, because it's in the long run it benefits everybody. You know, the larger the foundership, the larger the customer base is going to be, the more exposure that On Passive can get, the better it's going to be for the company, and it's all winner as far as everyone is concerned, you know. And that's why I spend so much time now helping as many people in On Passive, because I know that it's going to come back round to all of us.
Absolutely, and we all do know that it's coming. I say this. I feel it's coming. I feel a taste of it in my mouth also, and it has to all started from the beginning. So I wanted to go back to the beginning, and this question is more for Jayne. You know, Red has been in on passive over 3 years. Have you been a supporter all this time along, or have you started the second year, third year, and how has it been for you watching him grow within the community, watching him everywhere supporting other people? What is it like for you being a wife of the man who literally taking so much, putting out so many fires out there? What is it like for you, Jayne?
Well, there is, yeah, I could wear the On Passive Widow t-shirt quite well, couldn't I? In the beginning, Red was doing something alongside On Passive that he was coming out of, I suppose, and I didn't like it. Not On Passive, this other thing. I didn't like it. I didn't like the sentiment. I didn't like what it was about. And I voiced my opinion and said, I don't really like that. I'm not really keen with that. Have we got t-shirts of scams? We've got hundreds, you know, and there came a point where Red had talked about this guy and this On Passive. There wasn't many people in it. It was very early doors. It was only $97. And I think my first sentence was, great, but this is the last time. This is literally the last time. If you're going to invest in this, this is the last time. There's no more pie in the sky money. There's no more dream money. You know, we have to we'll just do what we have to do and
work like normal people.
Work yeah. I have to cross that off.
That's okay. We'll just cut.
Sorry, I just had a call coming in.
And then for about a year, I mean, On Passive was pretty quiet anyway, wasn't it? And then obviously in the second year, obviously we came into lockdown and things, and I was listening and I'd heard Ash's voice and I thought, he sounds like a decent guy. He sounds like he's got, you know, some good attributes. So I listened in a few times, and then I knew it was all going on. And at the time, as long as it wasn't interfering too much in us running a business, I was okay with that. But then, of course, lockdown, like I said, lockdown came in and it was so quiet. Red started to really sort of build on that. And then out of we did the cookery show, didn't we? And then, of course, the fireside chat came on. And then Red just said to me, would you like to say something? And I was like, not really. But it sort of evolved from that. And I think that's really was the turning point for me, because I sort of got to know some of the lovely people out on the other end of the call, and like people like Marty, and who became like a regular name in our household every day, you know, and these people's names were cropping up a lot. Peter Rogers was a good friend of Red's, and obviously Marty DeGarmo came up, and there were some more names kept cropping up, and then suddenly you feel a little bit like the part, you know, I'm saying their name as much as I'm saying my daughter's name, and I'm thinking this is taking over. But over the last year, I mean, I'm really proud of him. Do you know what I mean? He gives so much time, and you've got to appreciate that this is in countries who are not on our time zone, and it's not a problem, but that's where some of the hard work comes in, because people are texting him and ringing him and his phone's going. And I'm a really light sleeper, so many occasions I'm saying your phone's going. This is at silly o'clock in the morning because I hear it before he does. And I'm all for it, and it's really nice that, you know, I mean, sometimes I sense his frustration. I get frustrated with people sometimes. Some of the questions are a little bit like, really, you know, but I could answer them myself, I think.
Now you could,
I probably could.
She knows most founders. But she actually has got her own position.
I've got my own position.
I've obviously bought all our family a position. So that's the Jayne, the kids, grandkids, and we've got some extras. And she said,
I want my
I
own.
want my own. I said, you've got your own. I bought it. She said, no, but I want my own that I've bought.
I said, I want to pay for it. And he was like, why do you want to do that? And I was like, I want a little bit of independence.
Like she's got her own money, because she hasn't, because it's our money anyway. So she paid our money for her own.
He wants her
She
money.
wants her own.
That's beautiful.
I was being a bit stubborn. I was like, I want my own. Anyway, so I've got my own, and I haven't done anything with it.
Done zero with it, but she's still got her own.
I've done nothing with it because this guy here is going to build it for me.
you know, you have done a lot, and that come up to my next question is, Jayne, you probably watch Red, putting out some fires, dealing with some problems with, all kinds of things that's going on in our community. I'm pretty sure someday you probably see him pulling his hair. Obviously, he has no hair, but
He has any.
If I had any.
How are you doing just watching him going through, some of the things that were like, okay, what do I do? Some of the decisions that he has to make. I mean,
well, it's pretty standard in our house these days. It's normal.
Yeah.
It's just normal. I can see what he's doing. He gets up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, why are you? I'm doing a few pendings, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, and I'm just okay, whatever.
I know one thing I've had to learn pretty quickly with On Passive, how to get the right poker face, because one of the things that many people say about me is I don't suffer fools gladly, and I don't, to be honest.
No, he doesn't.
And normally people will know by how I look at them of really what I think of them. I can certainly shoot few people at some daggers if I need to. And with On Passive, when some people ask me some questions, I really do have to concentrate on not giving them, are you absolutely serious? You want to ask this question? Because it's just, anyway.
One of the funny things is that when Red does his lives, he reads through all the names, and you've got to understand, some of these names are really obscure.
I annihilate people's
and he
names.
annihilates them. And I sit there, and I can honestly say I'm a better speller and reader than Red. There's something I do better than him. Not very many things.
Biggest guy.
But he's a numbers guy. I'm the spellering in our house.
What's more important? Come on, to add up or to spell?
Well,
but you
come on.
Oh, brother.
He reads off these names, and I'm just like that, because I know what it says without really looking at it. But I'm like, oh my days, and these people, and he's had people telling him, you're not saying my name right.
Yeah, I had a voicemail off somebody the other day who actually had to say,
this is how, just so you know,
this is how you say my name. And I'm like,
okay,
no, fine, okay, I'll give it another go next time then.
But he was repeating it and repeating it. He was repeating it, and I said, have we got that now?
I think you
know how to say it.
Hey, listen, I get called all sorts of names. You get used to it, Fred, Red, Ted, all sorts of stuff.
Funny.
I think you're having trouble saying my name once, and I'm like, it's okay, Red. I mean,
yeah, I know, but I know what yours is now. But hey, listen, but that's the whole thing, isn't it? Just because you're not saying someone's name right or wrong or whatever it may be, that's somebody I can always remember. Someone always said to me, and this was part of the person before when me and Marty were with this guy actually, and he was sort of teaching us stuff. And one of the things that did stick with me was don't sweat the small stuff. And it's so true. Little things like this, come on, I can't say your name properly, or I haven't pronounced it right, or you didn't say hello to me on a live. And it's small stuff, really, isn't it? It's not going to change anything. You need to focus on the important things that are going on around you. And that's what you need to focus on. Not because somebody hasn't pronounced your name quite correctly. And then you feel, I just can't believe somebody feels the need to actually send me a voicemail to say, actually, this is how you say it.
Do you know have you ever been in that situation? Have you ever been in that situation where you're out and about and a couple walk towards you and they go, oh, hi, Jayne, Red, hi, how are you? And when I go, oh, hello, how are you? And I'm thinking, Red's face is always,
I haven't got a clue.
What are they called? Who are they? What's their name again? And I have to sort of stand behind them and tell him what their name is.
I'm really good. I'm really
He's
good with
rubbish.
faces. Faces, I'm
he's
brilliant
rubbish.
with.
It's just rubbish.
And I
with
can tell
names.
you where we saw them and all
Yeah,
the rest of
you
it.
don't-
But
you can't remember
names,
what they're called.
that's
That's
Anyway.
exactly the way I am. I can recognize the face, but man, to come up with that name, most of the time,
I
I
know.
you know, and you
That's,
just,
why do you think English people use the word mate?
Yeah. Pal.
hello, mate. There you go.
Gets through everything, man. It gets through absolutely everything.
That's right.
Don't need to, no one's name, just call everyone mate and you're sorted. And then you start asking a few questions, you glean a little bit of information and it goes ding.
Yeah. Then you realize who they are. You hope they say their name or something, you know, who they are. Oh, I'm with you on that. I've tried to do the name thing too when Julie's not there and, you know, she's late or she's not quite there at the beginning. And man, I don't even hardly do it anymore because I just butcher those names. You know,
Yeah, I do as well. Absolutely butcher them. But hey, listen, it's all part of the fun.
it is. It is. It's fun, man. And I just enjoy talking to people around the world and realizing what we've got, you know, and I'm not sure that we all do, you know, at this point, but man,
you guys do such a great job. Do you know what I mean? If it wasn't for people doing what you're doing now, I really don't think that the foundership in On Passive would have the success of it as it has, because you certainly are showing the world the real side of what founders are. You know, it's real people. You know, we are not prima donnas. We're not made up people. We are just everyday real people wanting to make a difference to our lives. And that's it, plain and simple. You know, and this is the beauty about what On Passive has done is it's been built to a foundership of over 1 million people now by the average Joe on the street, not by gurus, not by marketers, not by people who have got money. In fact, completely the opposite. It's been built by people who have got no money, who have got a dream, who want to make a difference to their lives. And that's why it has grown so big, in my opinion.
absolutely. And when we talk to people, and me and Julie say we're the most blessed people because we talk to founders and, you know, we realize that we all started out with maybe a dream of, you know, getting that extra income, but then now it's grown to where, hey, it's there, you know, we don't have to worry about that, but our mind and our heart begins to realize that it's about humanity and blessing people. And I love that about this community, you know, that people have got into that. So, but anyway, we are getting close. Yes.
I have questions I want to ask, and this might be a little, you might take it a little personal, but do you have business conversation in bed when you both go to bed, and who's the one said, oh, stop, let's go to sleep, or, you know, let's not talk about it. You know, do you have those type of conversations in bed?
Do we have business conversations in bed? Well, it's if it's the last words we speak to each other are probably about On Passive.
We wake up talking about On Passive and we go to bed talking about On Passive. We are lucky if other conversations come up, and the only reason other conversations come up is probably because the kids ring us or text us or anything like that.
And then the kids ring us and my daughter says, how's On Passive going?
So let me ask, between both of you, who is I guess you have a serious person and you have a fun person. Who's the serious and who's the fun person?
I'm the fun, he's the serious.
This is serious, okay. Who's the final decision maker? You are, okay. So let's talk about your dreams really quick. What are you dreaming to do? Let's just say, if there is one thing that will make you completely satisfied and happy right away at this moment, given the fact that money is not matter, what would it be for you, Jayne?
For me, it would be a family gathering.
Yeah.
It would be for me to, we was just before lockdown, we had a family, both our daughters live at the other end of the country. So we're in the middle. They're 3 hours that way, 1 hour that way. We've got 2 grandchildren. We don't see enough of them, really. We don't see enough of them. We really haven't got the space to put them up. And we always try and do a family holiday so that we can all go together, spend some real quality time. My daughter that's not married, she's engaged. Her boyfriend's mum is a very close friend of mine. So I'd like a big extended family vacation, and I'd like to treat them.
Pay for it all.
We want to pay and just turn up. And I'd even like to sort of almost go to the point of not telling them where we're going. And I'd like that's for me. I'd like to do that.
No, I said the same to you last night on the show. You know, that's what I want to do. But from our point of views, just be debt free.
Yeah.
You know, just be debt free.
We'd like a better car.
Nicer
We'd
car.
like a better car.
And that doesn't mean a brand new car, just a better car.
We're not talking about a Bentley.
You know,
We're just
my
car.
You know, the car I've got is I've got a Hyundai 3-cylinder 2005.
Yeah.
You know, the door handle. I've got no door handle on the driver's side because it came off.
Yeah. So we
like
to.
Like I said, this is how normal we are.
Yeah, I think we'd like to upgrade our life a little, but we're not really big hitters, are we?
No.
Even if we had loads of money, I can't get my head around paying £50 for a bottle of wine in a restaurant. It's just not us.
No, it's not.
It's just not us. So I think that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Just to upgrade ourselves.
I'd like to go off, you know, I want to go to a restaurant and I want to read a menu from left to right, not from right to left.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I hear you. So, Red, you had mentioned about an unpassive restaurant. I know in our last show, and I thought that was a very, very interesting idea, and I would love to get involved. Tell me a little bit about your thought.
I mean, it came out of the blue last night when someone was asking me about it, because obviously, you know, I am a chef and that, but we are a global company that has so many nationalities involved with it. And with nationalities comes the cuisine of each of the countries. So I thought, do you know something? What a really cool idea if we had, like, you know, there's a lot of these places popping up now with food halls, you know, where you have a centre hall and then you had these food shacks all the way around the outside. How cool would it be to have the countries of on passive doing their traditional dishes there? People can go there, you know, we could call it something to do with on passive, whatever it may be.
Could actually have like a food market.
We could call it food, you know what I mean, whatever we wanted, you know, and people can go there, and as a founder there's discounts for founders if you're in on passive for the food halls, you know. I mean, I just think it would be a really fun place to go and socialise with other founders, apart from anything else.
And make sure that there's just no waste. I can't stand waste of food. So if just anything that's left gets given,
you know, goes to the homeless, you know, anywhere, food banks, whatever it may be, you know, I just thought it'd be a really cool idea. And this is the whole thing. What we're allowed to do with on passive is we're allowed to expand our dreams, expand our minds into possibilities. And, you know, this is just another possibility of what could happen.
Yeah.
Why not, eh?
Yeah, why not? Why not? We've got loads of time. Not.
Yeah, we've got loads of time to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, we do. We do have a lot of time to do it. So I don't know if Milo have any questions, but for me, I wanted to ask you, what are places around the world that you want to visit?
Well, we've been really blessed in our lives, to be honest, and we've visited some amazing places. You know, I mean, you know, when people say 1 point for every place you visited and all the rest of it, well, we're up pretty high.
We've done about 25.
No, we've done loads more than 25. We've done absolutely loads more than that.
Maybe you won't be that many.
No, we haven't. I mean, we've done the whole of Europe. That's about 25 on its own, if you count them all. But like, we went to the Maldives 25 years ago, and it was
with our youngest daughter.
Yeah, with our youngest. Well, actually, we went on our own first, and then we went back again a year later or 2 years later with our daughter. And it was advertised as no shoes and no news, and it was exactly like that in those days. You would just cut off on this really Robinson Crusoe desert island. So we would love to go back to that. I've got loads on my bucket list as far as places to visit. Fiji, New Zealand, Bora Bora, Turks and Caicos I'd like to go to. I'd like to also go to Cayman Islands. You know, I've got quite a lot of places. Singapore, Dubai.
You stole Singapore from me.
Oh, soz.
What about,
Jayne?
No, that's it.
What
I don't
about-
have a list like that, but I don't have a list like Red's, but if he's going, I'm going, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, of course, right?
what about Nashville? Is
I'm
that
happy
on
to be
that
a
bucket
passenger.
list?
Say again?
Is Nashville on the bucket list?
Oh, yeah, no,
absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, no,
Yeah.
the States, that's going to be a tour. We're going to tour around
Yeah.
America,
Yeah,
man.
we are. We are going to do a great big tour of America.
We're gonna
That would be lovely.
hire a big old RV and
Yeah.
then be trailer trash for a year around the
Yeah,
States.
That would be so nice.
Um,
But city-wise, I want to go to Singapore. If we're talking beaches, I'd like to go back to the Maldives. And I don't mind. You know, for me, it's about who I'm with,
Yeah,
not where
company.
I'm going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, we've been lucky or unlucky, I don't know which way it is, to be around some very wealthy people in our lives, and we've seen firsthand how ugly money can be, and we are very mindful of
Yeah.
if we are blessed enough to be in that situation, we are making sure that we are either going to make sure people enjoy our money through our generosity, or we're certainly not going to outwardly show our
Yeah.
wealth. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And these people remind us who we don't want to be.
Correct.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So where is your dream house and what is it like?
Red would like a bigger boat. I
Bigger
think.
boat?
Just a bigger boat, because it's been so lovely going around the UK, and it's been absolutely amazing. The weather was really kind to us this year, and it's been wonderful. It's been really, really nice, and we both do like the boat life. However, that's not to say we wouldn't like a little bit of extra room.
A
I mean,
house with a boat car park.
this is the closest we've sat together all week. I sit over there, he sits over here. So us two sitting together like this, it's not normal.
I'm sat on a table.
So it is small, but I think if I had my wish, I would have a house big enough for us all to get together.
Yeah.
Do you see that is possible though? So where would that be? Let's work on it is possible to have that.
Well, we like where we are we're close to the Cotswolds.
In Gloucestershire, at the moment.
Cotswolds,
Nice here.
which is sort of southwest. Is that correct?
Southwest.
Southwest. So, and there's a lot of thatched cottages around. It's very quaint.
It's a typical
obviously-
quintessential English.
Yeah, it is, and it's quite close to water, obviously. So we'd like a house potentially in the Cotswolds with a mooring at the bottom of the garden. So the boat's right there. We don't want much.
Hey, think big. Upgrade your dreams.
Yeah, well, yeah, we are, aren't we? Trying, aren't we, to upgrade what, because you realise, don't you, after a while, actually, we need to really think a little bit bigger here. But anyway, I think that's what we'd like, and try and be a bit central. Like I said, our daughters. I mean, one daughter lives in London, and
Milo, we
want to get her out of Dodge.
We've got to have a bigger house anyway. It's got to have at least 4 bedrooms because of all of these people that I know through On Passive to come and visit the UK.
That would be lovely.
Oh, yeah.
4, I think it's about 8. It would be lovely to have I mean, we used to
And
a few
butler.
years ago. No, a few years you can tie your own shoelaces. A few years ago, we had a really lovely house, and everything was centered around the kitchen, and we did all our socializing in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was a very good party house. And I that would be really cool, wouldn't it? Where we could.
I think that's when I lost my
entertain.
hair.
Yeah, it would be good to entertain, wouldn't it?
So it seems like Red won one thing and Jayne won one thing. So you guys have to sit together and put, okay, we want this house just like this for both of us.
Well,
right?
they can have both.
Yeah.
They can have both.
Oh,
Yeah,
you can
that's
have
right.
both.
I'm getting the house. I'm having the house, and he's having the mooring at the bottom of the garden.
Suits me.
There you go. There you
That'll
go.
do me.
You
Yeah,
have that,
winner, winner.
you have that boat slip that goes right into the house, right? Right, Red?
Yeah, could do.
Yeah, hey, that
All
would
of
be
that.
pretty cool, wouldn't it? Hey, the old
Yeah.
James Bond jobby. Oh, I am 007 at the end of the day.
You-
so you
you-
get
you
it in there,
are.
can't we?
Yeah, you
Okay.
are. So my questions right now, it's actually probably more like a almost last question. I have a lot more, but probably last questions for you guys is that you guys are working on passive together. You do a lot of things together. What are your word of wisdoms to the couples that are not exactly doing this together? Tell them your word of wisdoms
What do you mean by not doing it together? What you mean? People that are not
on passive.
supporting each other.
Yeah.
I would say if you don't want to get involved, then let them do their own thing anyway. If it's not harming you and they're not spending any money, they're not wasting any more money, and they're passionate about it. I mean, you're all allowed your own time anyway, aren't you? And if that's their hobby per se, then let them get on with it. But I can say one thing: it's a lot easier to join the band. It's a lot easier. You may as well join the band. You don't have to be all in. You know, I've said this before. I'm not in the engine, but I'm a really good, willing passenger. And do you know something? I really enjoy the social side of it. Never forget on passive. Forget the workings of it. I love talking. Marty calls us every day. We talk to people, we know people, we talk to you, Julie. You know, we've got I've got so many chat groups going on my phone now.
Yeah.
And it's so nice. And it even from a social point of view, you know, and have a go. It's not going to bite you. And if you don't want to work, you could join. If you don't want to work it and you're embarrassed or you don't want to do anything, you don't want to try and convince, you don't need to convince anyone. But if you
talking about the partners.
Yeah, but then let your partner get on with it.
Yeah, the one thing I'd say as far as partners is concerned is you don't have to know everything about the business.
No,
That's
I don't.
If your partner is passionate about on passive, they're passionate about on passive because of what they believe in. And if you believe in your partner, then they deserve to be supported for their passion of it.
Absolutely.
And Red, I mean, in the beginning, Red, my question to Red was why on passive, and he said because I want to better us, you know. And how can you fault that? You know, how you can't fault that in your partner. Surely, if your partner's trying to give you a better life, then you're better off supporting them. Join the band; it's good fun.
Absolutely. I got one more question. Red, has Jayne asked you when are you going to start building my team?
Yeah, she has. Do you know something? You're absolutely bloody right there, Milo. She wanted all this independence, right? And I've said to her in the past, I said, look, people start to know, they know who you are now. Why don't you start using your registration link and, you know, and putting it out? They said, no, I'm not bothered about that. You're going to do that for me. I was like, I've got enough to do as it is already without doing yours. You know what I mean?
I have a go, actually. I might have a go.
You got to have our money and her money, right?
Do you know something? As the old saying, what's mine's my own and what's yours is mine.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the big team anyway, so it's okay, Jayne. Just have it.
Yeah,
That's great.
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just gonna watch.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Milo.
It was great having you guys on the show today, and we could go on for a long time, but I know you got things to do. But we appreciate you guys coming and talking with us, and it was a lot of fun. So I'll send it back over to you, Julie.
Absolutely. Red and Jayne, it's so lovely to have you on, and just watching your relationship, watching interaction between you both. I am loving it. And yes, you are the power couple of OnPassive, and I wanted to thank you for everything that you are doing, Red, and thank you, Jayne, for your support. your sacrifice even for Red, we able to do what he does. So I'm deeply touched for all that you are doing. And I know there are a lot of people out there thinking the same thing. And my saying is, I appreciate you both and can't wait to meet you. And the first thing I'm going to do is just come and see you and just hug you. And
yeah,
Fantastic.
brilliant. We can't wait.
Yeah, we can't wait to
Can't
meet
wait
everyone
to
in
meet
person.
people.
Long overdue now.
Yeah,
That'll
we
be
just can't
fun.
wait. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. There you have it, everyone. The power couple of On Passive. We do hope that you enjoy the show, enjoy our conversation as always. Thank you so much for watching the Julie and Milo show. Please click the subscribe button and so that you can get notification when we put one of these shows out there. As always, from the Julie and Milo show, we are so blessed to be here and so blessed to have you as our friends, as our viewer as well. Thank you so much for being here, Red and Jayne. Have a great day and safe travel. Good night from
Thank you,
Orange
Rich.
County,
Thank you.
California.
Nice to speak to you both.
Good night from Nashville.
Listen to the stories and how they tell when they join and how they're doing so well, telling us what it's all about today and how they are loving that own passive way on passive. Here today on passive, no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, so then you can be the very first to know on passive. It's a here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on passive.